You want your children to have the maximum opportunity to be their greatest selves. You want your children to be able to explore options of what it is to be a kid as much as they can, because they don't stay that age for long. I wish I could afford a $200 gymnastics class for my child that likes to do flips in my kitchen. But
Yeah.
I cannot do that. One, because I don't have the extra money. Two, because I don't have the extra time. I can't tell my job, hey, I can't come in on this time because my child wants to flip between this hour and this hour, and I paid this much money for it, and I want to go watch her flip.
Yeah.
Some parents have the money to do that. And when it comes to children who have these maximum opportunity versus children who don't, it is very like disheartening to be like, oh yeah, and we want to stop people from being able to have abortions, as if the pay
Yeah.
that they're giving is allowing them to provide this child what they need.
Yeah.
They clearly said today it was 10 against 100 and something votes about, do you want to discuss the formula shortage? And
Mm-mm.
they said no. Only 10 people
Mm.
in that fucking room of 100 and something people wanted to discuss that.
No,
But I
no,
have the nerve to talk about abortions.
no, 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 no.
Who wants to have kids when y'all don't have the establishment to provide them food?
Listen, I don't know what is going on. I Something's going on that doesn't make any sense. It's like, okay, so you're trying to, it's like a math problem. You're trying to add more, but you don't have enough to give to what you're trying to add to. So when
Right.
these babies come here, so I read an article today, this morning, about the formula situation, and parents are actually starting to dilute it, which is making babies sick. They're seeing a rise in emergency room visits for infants because parents are trying to add more water to the stretch of formula. They're trying to add regular cow's milk to it. They're trying to add goat milk to it. They're trying to buy breast milk from people they don't even know to feed their babies because they're so desperate. I don't know if everybody has babies, children here, or a nephew, or somebody that you saw when they were a baby, and you hear a baby cry. The cry of a baby is like alarming. It's like urgent, urgent, urgent. What's wrong? I don't know what to do. You can't speak. You can't tell me if it's your toe. Is your back? Is it your neck? Are you hungry? Are you having diarrhea? Like you don't know. So the fact that these mofos had the nerve to stand up there and talk about they want to do something about rolling back Roe versus Wade, but you have babies right now in the hospital because they're starving and sick. Right now, you have women in rural areas who are dying before they even get to the hospital. These are women who want their babies. They're
Yeah.
dying before they can even get to the hospital to have the babies, and y'all can't fix that problem. But you want women to fix their vaginas and close their legs, or to just push out the babies that are we're not prepared to solve the problem. The America the Great MAGA. What is this? What kind of ghetto ness is this?
It's it doesn't make sense. And on top of, food costs, activity costs, and gas costs, then you have people who, last year they were bragging about being able to date multiple people. As a man, good luck, Daddy Warbucks. Okay?
Yeah,
Because if you have the income to date multiple women and it doesn't involve Netflix and chill, because you probably can't even afford the Netflix at this point in time,
yeah,
our lives are so lopsided financially, and companies know it, but they won't admit it, to the point where you're going to push more people into depression.
yep,
um you're going to push more people into committing suicide. You're going to push more people into harming their children because they
yep,
can't afford to take care of their children. You're going to push more people, especially men who are out here that can't even visit their kids that they pay child support to.
mm,
and can't afford the lifestyle that they're living or where they're living, who can't afford the gas to put in their car to get to work in order to make the money to pay the child support, you're seeing a clear understanding of where they're concerned about their money and their efforts going.
Mm-mm,
Okay,
mm-mm.
let's roll this shit into adulting bullshit number 3. Okay, balancing relationships in the thick of this. Thank you for Vader, Tierra, Fletch to the, let me get this right, Def, what's up? Vizo, what's up? Thank you for coming in here. I'm talking about mastering adulting with monopoly money because that's clearly what the government thinks we have. Balancing relationships in this shithole of thinking we have monopoly money. Be honest about how much time you have to give and talk openly and honestly to people. If you don't have time to date, I suggest you not date.
Mm.
If you don't have time to spend your earnings on people who are question marks in your life, don't do it. You don't have to spend money to have a nice date. It ain't nothing for you to pack some snacks, dip back into your G code, and have a little, talk at the park.
Mm.
Okay? If a woman really likes you, she'll appreciate your time.
Yes.
I have to go to a 4-star restaurant in order to enjoy somebody's time. They do not have to come to your house in order to enjoy your time. You do not have to buy the most expensive bag or shoe or makeup or wig in order to get a man's attention that really likes you. What is wrong with taking a walk? What
Yeah.
is wrong with both of you comfortably showing up in a public space, enjoying each other? What the fuck is wrong
Yeah.
with taking your ass to Barnes and Noble and getting to know what this person likes, what they're into? What is wrong with having a cup of coffee to see if this person is even worth me taking out to dinner?
Yeah.
What is wrong with just going somewhere to shop or just browse at house shit to get to know this person's taste? To me, a lot of men are suffering not having style or taste for their place. What is wrong with admiring a woman and wanting to get to know her while y'all just go look at like house shit or apartment shit and just grab something? What is wrong with that? What
Yeah.
is wrong with just going to the park and digging into your inner child? When was the last time you was on a goddamn swing? When was
Yeah.
the last time you walked to go get ice cream?
Yes.
There
Yes.
are all these things that don't cost you over $100 or a $200 dinner, because to be honest, anybody that wants to brag about the fact that they went on a date with somebody and you want to brag about what they wore, what car they was driving in, what restaurant you went to, if they're more entertained by what's on their plate and taking pictures of it and the background and not who's in front of their face, you spent your time taking somebody out on a date that should not have gone on a date with
Yep.
you.
Yep.
This is a point of time where you got to save yourself and be direct. Hi, I'm admiring what you look like. I'm very horny right now. How are you? Would you like a great time? Not a long time, okay? You
Right.
don't have to listen, you don't have to be an asshole about it. And the worst that a woman can say is no.
Yeah.
Sorry, not interested. Or a man could be like, I appreciate, but I'm waiting for someone. Sorry, not interested. And you have to get out your ego and you have to get out your pride. And you have to take somebody's first no as the answer, okay? We are grown. We do not need to be playing, oh, pushback for pushback, okay?
Yeah.
When a person thinks that you're interesting, they're going to let you know, all right? I am in a relationship because a person sees me blank times a week. I am not in a relationship because I don't want to see anybody a certain amount of times a week for them to be like, oh, I haven't seen you this week. What's wrong? Why I haven't seen you this week? Why you didn't call me? I don't have time for that shit.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make time for that shit. And as men and women, we have to be at a point where I don't I'm not in a relationship because I don't have time for it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there are horrible men out here. I'm not saying that there are horrible women out here. I'm just saying from what I've observed, it's not worth the gamble.
Yeah.
At the same time, we have to be honest about the fact that we're probably missing gems. We're probably missing great people that will help our lives improve in the mix of shit. But we also have to be honest with ourselves that I was only talking to you because I was bored.
Yes,
I was
that's one.
listen, Eruth. I was
That's,
only talking to you because I didn't want people to see me as lonely or I couldn't get some. Talking to you because you were stroking my ego.
yep.
I was only
That's,
talking to you because everybody wants you and I want to feel better than everybody else to be like, I have you.
yep.
People are very insecure out here, so be
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Okay? If I go out at night with you, then I must think something high of you. I am single because I don't want to share my time with more people. Spend quality time with people who matter. This is the time for you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't afford to the bar tonight, don't take your ass to the bar tonight. If you can't afford to be out with your boys and your girls and pay for this high ass outfit and put the tags in, don't go out.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you go out, what do you see? You see people with their head down in their phone. You see people trying to squish into other people that got bought bottles so they don't have to buy a drink. You see people that can't
Is
walk in the expensive shoes that they bought.
yeah.
Be comfortable. I'm a homebody. And if I bet you enough, be like, pull up at the house. Pull up at the house. I'm gonna go ahead and give these kids some melatonin, and we just gonna chill.
Yeah.
All right. This is your time to be picky about you. This is your time to be selfish about what you got going on. And I really feel like, Eruth, this government is trying to force people to fake themselves into relationships because life is too hard to do solo.
Mm.
And what's going to happen is people are going to procreate against their will. People are going to procreate because they want to make sure they can stay where they are. People are going to procreate out of phoniness and create life that did not ask to be here, built on some phony feelings.
Yeah. Or out of boredom, as you said. Some people just bored. And there's no excitement, there's no joy. And the only thing you can do is get them endorphins from plugging some
Listen,
kids' holes.
some holes,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's no healthy way to create a family. Like we talked about this. Some people are not having children because they can't afford them.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking about people who are living adults right now with trauma from their childhood, because a lot of those people are not having kids because they're scared that what happened to them as children will happen to
Mm-hmm.
their kids.
Mm-hmm. Or they're looking at the world for what it is right now and they're saying, so I'm gonna have to eat my kids when it gets the top when the going gets rough. Are we eating each other? Like, how am I surviving? Who's look, me and my we had this running joke the other day. We were like, okay, y'all, if we got to the point where we were starving when we was all starving, who are we gonna eat first? And everybody said my youngest at the same time. And I was like, God damn. What what is this?
It's so messed up.
It's
Side
we're
note,
joking about it, but still, like, times are getting dire. There's no baby food. There's no milk to feed the babies. What is this? Like, if that's not a sign of the times, I don't know what there is. What else does it take? Rent is high, gas prices are high. You're trying to figure out, do you date somebody? Do you marry that person? Is it worth it for you to go ahead and go into a business partnership in order for are you gonna stay together? Like, are we in a recession? Let me find out.
It's here. Ain't no are we, ain't no it's coming. It's here. And
Mm,
there's a lot of people who are numbing the bullshit by acting like this is not happening. It's a lot of uh news people not talking about the rise in COVID and hospitals in New York. Monkeypox. What the hell
oh,
is
I
monkey?
saw that too. Let me tell you.
What? People going on vacations on packed planes acting very erratic. No masks. We don't want masks on planes anymore, as if this shit is gone.
Mm, 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 mm.
Women getting their bodies done because for them in the first place.
Yeah.
A lot of insecurities being very loud right now in the midst of the fact of that shit don't matter. Because the reality is what a woman's body looks like when she leaves the house versus what her house like versus how her kids are living versus how her finances are looking. She ain't cute. She ain't cute.
Yeah.
Her shit is not in order. It's so funny. I left Kroger today and my mom was in the truck and Anya was in the back and I saw three men walking towards like some lounge. And I was like, I bet they all drove in the same car. I bet most of them, or maybe all three of them, are still living in the house with their parents, and they out here looking for women to talk to.
Mm,
And the reality is, can you afford to talk to multiple women?
mm.
When I say that, I'm talking about when I talking to women mean talking to them, engaging with them, asking for their time, or wasting their time. Can you really make time to meet up with them with the schedule that you have and the priorities that you have, or are you creating illusions that that will happen?
There's a lot of illusion going on.
Oh,
There's so much illusion going on, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's a lot of people just faking the funk because it's easier to do so because everybody else is doing it. Meanwhile, we all feeling the pain together, and nobody's like, listen, the pain that we're going through right now, y'all, it's not I feel it. It hurts. It's not working anymore. I saw what did I see on the article? It said BB what do you call it? Brazilian butt lifts are like causing the most like the highest deaths.
listen, and they not talking about it. What's up?
This is
What's
believe
up?
me, this is my bro from
What's
What's
Central,
up?
and he finally got on the app. He is an artist, and I don't know why it took you so long, but we're talking about some stuff. I was gonna have you listen in and wait for a little bit if you wanted to listen and then join, but it's up to you. We're
No
all here.
problem.
But no, you here, Gemini. It's the Gemini, Azelio, stands Gemini. Got these
what's up?
Gemini. Yeah.
G unit.
What's
Yeah.
Listen. So this is Loudmouth Stereo. Greg is usually up here with me. We used to do two shows a week, but we moved it to Saturday. Greg had a wedding to go to, and he was dealing with COVID last week. He's in the
Shout
midst of
out to Greg. Shout out to
listen.
Greg.
So because Eruth is family, okay, and I saw that y'all had a talk, I was like, let me bring him up. But anybody that wants to talk about mastering adulting right now with Monopoly money, come up here and let's talk about it because it's a discussion. Everybody's feeling a pull
Why is Terry on the
somewhere,
phone?
or not, and I just want to discuss it because it's ghetto.
Yeah.
And
America's ghetto right now. Yeah.
You need an outlet. You need
Get
people that,
downloaded.
and it just needs to make sense. So, how do you feel about adulting right now?
Well, I'm going to listen more because this is a topic that I'm learning, that I'm always learning from my sister. So it's not so surprised that I'm still learning right now. So I'm gonna let y'all keep going in because this is the first I've heard anything about mastering adulting with Monopoly money. Yeah, this is the first time I've heard about. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. It's like common sense. So wait a
Yes.
minute. Okay, my
Yeah.
bad. It just hit me. Okay.
This is
Um.
your personal opinion about life right now with the monopoly
Okay.
things we have.
I feel like Z-Way and my homegirl did in that last Z-Way episode when she was like, we should just change it to like hugs and have high fives or something, like just high five with money, just a hundred high fives for like, this bottle of milk, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't really like money. I put this thing with like, maybe I'm going left field, but I think mastering adults, are you saying like the game Monopoly itself and how it teaches kids the value of money? Is that what we're starting with?
I'm saying the fact that housing, they want us to have three times the rent, with the rent being, let's say, $1,500, but my work is this and they only pay me this, and realistically on paper I cannot afford this, therefore I can't have a place to stay, but you want me to show up for work and want me to stink.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we're saying that Monopoly's showing the wrong way of how, okay, it's not really
Hey,
giving,
monopoly money is basically the fake money they want us to have on paper in order to have a house, a car, a job, take care
but
of our children.
doesn't it essentially come down to like ones and zeros? I think me and my girlfriend were talking about this earlier. It comes down to somebody pressing a button, like a zero here and a one there, right? Isn't that what it comes down to?
Yeah, it's all fake. I mean, honestly, what our situation is right now is there's a lot of fake in the funk. There's a lot of fake in the funk when it comes down to pretending like, well, you have this great job, right? What do they tell us when we're in school? You go to school, get an education, you go get a job, you're gonna get a house, you're gonna get a wife and or a husband. Y'all gonna be able to save your money and retire, and all of that is a lie. And we all scraping up, scratching to survive, barely
Listen,
making it. The gas prices are ridiculous. The I don't know where they want us to get this money from, except for from the Monopoly box, and just present it at the gas station. Be like, "Would y'all take this?" No, man, we don't take this. Are you sure you want to take this?
Gift
What about
cards is an idea. What about gift cards? No? Gift cards?
that? It's all the same. It's all
It is.
a
It
devaluation.
is. I'm doing gift cards though. Give me a gift card. I mean, I'm giving out gift cards. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, I'm going left field with it. I think you guys are really strong with the force right now. And I came in with the conversation with the monopolizing of money. I just feel like it all comes down to somebody pressing a button. You say the
Is it?
illusion. It all comes down to somebody pressing a one. I think we were watching something earlier. Well, I was watching something earlier, and I forgot what it was. It was Adam. You know, a guy called Adam ruins everything. He's got a new thing out called with Obama. Obama produced this new show, and it's Adam hosting it. And he talks about how essentially it just all comes down to somebody just pressing. Forget about the physical money. Just one zero zero. Just type it in, and you got it. You got
That's
it.
that's what the Federal Reserve basically is. Really, I mean,
You
they
got
can
it.
see all this stuff is happening. They could see that the cost of food is going up. They can see that the what Shan was saying earlier, our wages aren't going up. Everybody should be making the minimum wage should be $25 without a doubt.
yeah.
No question. It doesn't matter if you're working at Burger King, but this is the problem too. I heard people say this so many times. Well, if we pay people at Burger King $25, I mean, what are the teenagers going to aspire to? What do you mean? They need to pay. They need to go buy food too if they want to get a job. They got to go pay for their car note too if they want to drive
Right.
down the street. What are you talking about? What argument? Why are you making an argument for people who
But you
make
know,
easy?
people like that who get really antsy about the person that works for me can't make what I make because then I can't delegate or then I can't feel good about what I do. This is the issue with the United States people. The United States people get off on people being below them or not able
Mhm.
to. They do. And it's a disgusting mindset to have because everybody who's willing to work and gives their time to do a service or to create goods that other people need and want should be able to feed themselves, shelter themselves,
Yeah.
do the basics. And then if that person wants more and is not satisfied with that, they should be able to apply to a job that's paying them $30 an hour or
So I have a
$40.
question. I have a question. So who should we respect more? Should we respect the person, the head of the corporation who we're working for, or do we respect the person who's the head of the corporation who gives, right? Who just like, what do you call it when they give? Just giving, giving, giving. Philanthropy, right? Okay. So do we, and they still remain rich. For some reason, the philanthropists still remain
Because
rich.
how they give is not taxed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we have to be honest about that shit too. A lot of people create nonprofits sometimes to wash dirty money.
Yep.
A
Mm.
lot of people create nonprofits so they can figure out how to master and manipulate the government and how they tax people so they can have more of their hard-earned money in their pocket and never.
Copy that.
They figure out how to use credit cards so they never have to use their working money. Warren Buffett talks about this so much. The rich
G, talk
the
it.
rich have mastered how to use credit card systems. That's why they stay rich. They never use the money that they make to spend on anything. They use credit card companies against other credit card companies, and they basically create their own barter system with their other rich friends.
Yep.
Imagine if I wanted to buy a house tomorrow and I had enough businesses and assets to be able to call Eruth, who had other businesses and assets. And I said, "Hey, Eruth, I don't feel like driving to the bank. Can you loan me
I
X,
feel
Y,
like driving to the
money?"
bank.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can you loan me X, Y, and Z money so I can get this house? And then I'll pay you X, Y, and Z interest. Rich people can do this.
So who's the bartering system like made for? Rich people, or is it for like the regular class like people? Like, what is bartering? Who does bartering work for? Because if I think it should work for people that are like regular like me, and not for the,
it
you
used
know,
to it used to work for regular people. Like people used to be able to be like, "Hey, I have 5 goats.
right?
Can I have
Go ahead,
your daughter? Your daughter
I
in
need that
marriage?
pen.
Your
Yeah,
five
I need a
goats."
power pen. Right, right. Depending on how important you need the situation. Right, exactly. Right.
But once U.S. annihilated how people can survive and what they barter with and make it legal, it
Right.
became this money that's not even worth anything.
This app is awesome. This is random, but how the lips move. This is crazy. This is scary. But whatever. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know um if everybody is on the same mind wave to be like, "Hey, the working people, this week we're not going to work. Stay in your houses, don't buy shit."
But then this
What?
bartering. Look, hold on. It's like it's a small like how much does one need to have to be able to barter? Because then he's like hoarding too now. There's like a level of like I
A lot of people are hoarding out of anxiety, out of fear of not having, just like, people are buying all of the milk for babies off of shelves and sitting it in their house, and they
yeah,
have
that's a real
they have
thing.
nowhere to
That's a
put
real
it.
thing. Word up. I
Buying all of the
saw
toilet tissue.
I saw a post on Fake World. I call it Facebook, but Fake World, where it was like dude said, "Well, there's no more uh um milk because women are lazy because they don't want to breastfeed or some shit like that." And I'm like, but then I saw the comment and some dude kills him. And he was like, "Yeah, but and I learned like some women can't breastfeed." I'm like, boom, drop the mic, brother, walk away. You killed it. I was like, oh shit. I mean, excuse my
Tell you
language.
something.
Can I curse?
Let
Can
me
I
tell you
curse?
something.
Oh yeah.
Can I
Yes,
curse? All right, cool. All
You're
right.
an adult.
It takes a woman to eat as if she is still pregnant in order to produce
Yeah.
the right amount of milk to feed a living baby efficiently. And let's
Is
not
it
even start on if she has
is that
twins.
true? Is that true? Some women can't breastfeed though.
Yeah. Yes.
Some
Oh,
can't
okay,
breastfeed,
Yeah.
and
okay.
some women, even after they have a baby, their body is still trying to get used to the fact that they have a baby. And some women are not able to eat or afford the food that they need in order to produce the breast milk.
That's tiring. That
But
sounds tiring, bro.
but
It's exhausting.
it is. But here's the bigger problem, right? This country, okay, let's talk about, remember when the pandemic first came and there was all this stuff going on, everybody was fine learning information, people were talking about releasing videos about how they had, back in the Obama administration, they had a task force because they had the Zika virus, they had the whatever virus, there's always a damn virus, bird flu, the bird flu is coming around now too, there's a monkey virus, there's always stuff. They have a department, they have a part of the institution who actually studies the trends when there's going to be some kind of virus that's in the public that's going to affect the economy and all this stuff. They are prepared for this stuff. So when you
Mhm.
think about all that stuff, y'all ain't prepared for us to have some kind of shortage of food. You're not prepared for us to
Speaking
have
of speaking of
of
preparation, speaking of preparation, is this shortage uh in preparation or coincide with the whole abortion thing? Like, I just find I don't believe in coincidences. I'm like, what is the coincidences that the whole
everybody
Roe
buying
versus
formula.
Wade and
That's what
then boom, the formula?
that's
What's
what
going on? Can I find a correlation there? Because y'all are women, right? What's the correlation with that whole the Roe versus Wade and then Bomsky? Here goes the shortage of infant. I mean, stuff.
yeah, that's, you know what, I didn't think about that, that was possibly why people are buying up this stuff. That does make sense because there was a report that said that like 60 something million abortions have happened since Roe v. Wade. So can you imagine, like, that was what, I don't know, this 1973 is 2000, that's like 40 something years. Could you imagine like the next 40 something years there being less, expected to be 60 something million babies that are born? And I guess people are like, yo, that we need to buy this shit up because we're gonna be rich. Like, if that's what's going on here, where is the government to step in and say you can't do this?
Bro, how did how did baby food go missing just overnight right after this? This is what I'm saying. I don't believe coincidences. There's a domino effect, right? Bing, bang, bing, bong, right? How is that not a coincidence that what you're saying people just bought up? That's the devil, bro. Like, so now people gonna be starving now, bro? Like,
You mean babies? Because
babies, excuse
every
me, babies, babies,
morning
babies.
it makes me nervous because every so okay,
I'm nervous.
me and Shan, we had a talk about this. We're going to be talking about this abortion. We're breaking it down. We're getting all into it in the next couple of talks. We talked about this. Our very first talk, actually, Tiara was on the talk. We were all like, we were talking about why women have abortions, talking about some of like the irresponsible choices women are making, some situations where there's rape and all this other stuff. And at the time, my stance is always, listen, I'm not going to have one for myself, but I don't know how I feel about telling other people what to do by way of the government. And then you think about, okay, so my stance on it is sort of still the same. Like, I'm not gonna pull the lever, or I'm not gonna touch the lever. Whoever's gonna put their hand on the lever, let them do what they're gonna do. But then we got the real life situation of there ain't enough food because greedy people are taking up all the food from people. What are we going to do after we have 60 something million more people? We're already struggling right now as it is to be able to afford. They're not paying us enough, so we're not really living the way that we should be living. We're not eating the way we should be living. What are we really going to do? Like,
So there's the equation right there. No baby food equals no more babies being made.
No, they're forcing people to make babies. That's a
yeah,
problem. It's kind of
How are
like
you? I don't understand that. How is the shortage going to make you want to have unless you're going to be?
not making you want to, but if people are stacked on each other and moving in with multiple families in one home and you can't fit and you're
Copy
trying
that.
to create the mindset of your problems, what do? You find quick releases
Yep.
that's going to take
Okay.
you elsewhere, which
Yeah,
sometimes will be procreating, uh, you know, when you really don't want to, out of
I'm terrible at math, but
like
I got the equation. I got it now. Yeah, okay.
but this is my thing. Back in the day, they didn't allow you to get married unless you had something to provide or something to give your wife
I
or vice
mean,
versa,
boy,
right?
look, we can learn a whole lot from the tradition, old time ways right now, boy.
Why are you putting people in 2022 in a position to not be able to afford to take care of a child and forcing them to have children?
Mm-hmm.
Facto, facto, and
Mm-hmm.
cheese.
Don't you sit in a courtroom and you judge women who have babies back to back to back to back to back
Yeah.
and live off of the government?
Macaroni,
Yep.
macaroni and
How
cheese.
can how can you tell people no, no more condoms, no more plan B, no more abortion pills, no more abortions. You need to have this baby since you had sex, and then turn around and watch them have the baby and they can't afford to feed the baby, they can't afford to clothe the baby, and you don't want to help them with government resources to do so.
Yeah. But
That's
You know, I've been catching.
insanity.
What's
isn't
been
this why
trending
this?
too? Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead, Ruthie.
No, I was
Go ahead,
gonna
Ruthie.
say
Go
real
ahead.
quick, but isn't this why, like, okay, so this is not really related, but it is because I was watching this UFO thing on Showtime, and what they were talking about is sort of like where some of these conspiracy theories come from. It is really just distrust of the government trying to go out of its way to give disinformation to the. This American government has been creating disinformation towards Americans for a long ass time. So when you think about a situation like this, these things, sometimes you hear people say things and you're like, gosh, that's such a stretch, it's so outlandish, and you're like, but then is it though? Because they're the only real answer to some of this stuff is something that seems outlandish. Are they farming children? Are they trying to farm children? Like, what are we gonna do with all these kids? I'm not saying I'm
Bro, it's
trying
so
to.
many. There's so much weird. Like, yeah, that right there. It is so much shit like that going on. The kidnappings, the fun, the actual. It's so much weird thing trending. I'm like, what's going? I'm done. I'm done.
I'm gonna play these messages, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this because it's on my mind before I forget it. Eruth and I talked about the fact that while they're doing all of this shit, a lot of states in the Midwest are focusing on lowering the age for marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? Why would you want to marry a child as a grown man?
Mm, 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 mm,
I
mm.
feel like personally that it's gonna add another letter to the acronyms. You know, that long acronym that we already have already. And I love the acronym. I respect that
They've
with
been
all due
trying
respect.
they've been trying to say that being attracted to kids is a sex preference for
Oh
a very
God,
long
no.
time.
Yes, that's
I
true,
don't.
they have been. Yep.
In Greece right now, since 2012, uh if anyone sexually abuses a child, it is considered a disability.
Mm-mm.
Okay?
Can I segue on that? 2 days ago, I saw a video of a black man, and I have to say black man because this is key. All right, I'm not putting a race card. Beating on another older black man. Mind you, this is an old black man. He's beating on. He's got a hospital brace on his arm. Right now, he's beating on this man because he put hands up, supposedly on his daughter. He touched his daughter. Right,
Mm-hmm.
and he's beating him with a belt with a Gucci belt on one hand and a camera in his other hand. Mind you, we're not watching it first person. We're not watching point of view. We're watching it from somebody else's camera, recording them, recording him beating on the older man. Now, I understand he's taking matters into his own hand, but you let the man go. You beat him and then you let him go,
What?
right?
Yeah,
And
no.
right, you beat him and he let him go. Now, my thing was, I get that he took the necessary steps, you know what I'm saying? But where's the justice in that when you let that man go? You
Right,
let that man go to do it again.
right.
Yeah.
It's now you could have used that same energy and dragged that man to the precinct or to a hospital or whatever. Like I said, he had a hospital ban. And I guess in your moment of fury, you're not looking at the freaking clues like, okay, old man. Like I said, I'm not empathetic. I'm just like, bruh, can we do better though? Because now you can go to jail for damn near murdering somebody on camera if the right person gets their hands on the footage. Henceforth, what you're saying, they're going to show a little more sympathy for this guy because you still made a wrong. Two wrongs does not make that right. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. There's a
And
lot of
it's
pressure.
crazy because like I got into an argument with a lady and she's like, he did right. I'm gonna take care of mine. And I'm all about my black men not going to jail. But what he said, but I mean, I don't want my black man killing nobody, but I'd rather see him in jail. That's what she said. I'd rather see him in jail than kill. I said, man, you want to see some, what? I was arguing with somebody, mind you. Here we go, man. She was like, I believe, I'm going to assume she was, how do you use the word, lesbian? Okay, she might have been of that preference, whatever. And then I'm like, okay. And then she's of the like masculine side of that lesbian situation, right? And I'm like, okay, well, here you are, a lesbian, right? And respect, with all the respect, and you got the tough look, whatever, whatnot. But I'm gonna assume you're taking on stance of a man, and I'm like, how you gonna tell me that this man, black man, this black man, but you're a whole woman though. So you talk about you rather see that man locked up and go to jail. Who is gonna take care of that same daughter he protected? Who's gonna take care of that same daughter? My bad. Who is gonna take care of that same baby that you're protecting when you go to jail?
It's a
That's
mad.
that that's the mindset that has 86% of people locked up right now, is that they don't see long term of the decision.
Oh my God, they don't.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's so sad is, before I hit these messages, is if 86% of the people locked up right now knew how to sit and think about the decisions they made before they acted on them, they wouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
But
Shan, what do you mean by hit these messages? Is that the numbers that are going up on the corner of my phone right now?
yes, yes. So I'm gonna
What
play
does
the.
that mean?
So the people in the audience that are listening have something to say about what we're talking about. So I have to play the messages because I don't want
Are
them
they
to get.
gonna are there gonna be hurtful words? Because I don't want to hear anybody hurtful like saying nothing to me. Are they
No,
gonna be
you got
hurtful?
to just ride this
If
wave,
if
bro.
you're offended by what somebody says, we have the option to block them or not play the message, or you can mute yourself. It's fine.
Or swing on them? All right, cool. All right, that's cool.
Right.
All right. I'm just tripping.
Yes, Shan, yes, this is the reason I feel that same way. And I'm glad that, I'm finding people that are feeling the same way that I do about wanting to be present in your child's life, wanting to be able to provide properly for your children. Not just like being able to give them what they need, but being able to give them what they want. Being able to, like you
Like,
said, throw extravagant birthday parties, just take them out just so they can get out the house on a Saturday morning. Like, that's the type of lifestyle that I'm been striving for.
Yeah.
That's right.
There are four major companies that make milk for babies. The question we should be asking is why they started producing less. Maybe it's
Mm,
because of profits.
yes.
mm,
So
Mm.
oh, y'all can
okay.
hear this when I'm playing it. Oh, wow, this is dope. So y'all can hear this. Okay,
One thing I
Where'd
would
they
say.
go there?
One thing I would say for
this is
the
dope.
the industry that I work in is, when there is a disaster, there is a company wide email that is sent for you not to help or answer or discuss terms with these people that live in this area.
Mm.
It is all manipulation. So who's to say that these companies didn't get a email company sent, we will not be doing production between this time and this time?
True.
Out of every issue in the United States, there's also this make believe superhero that comes to save the day or say the right thing for a shit to get back right. Sometimes it's not a real superhero. Sometimes it's politically who wants to be the good person or the good face, and then basically flip
I'm
the
gonna
switch.
bring up. I'm gonna bring up a situation. Wait. A question to you. Next question to you, Shan. What's the difference between a superhero and a vigilante? Because some folks be more like vigilante than superhero. Like, You do vigilante work too on the side.
I'm
You'd be
I'm
like,
kind of I'm kind of iffy because I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm for Marvel or I'm for this. I'm more so like, I get the anger and the frustration and the fight on both sides. I
like
get,
Batman. Batman was an angry hero, but he never let the motherfucker walk away. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm
but
saying.
at the
Like,
same time, I'm also for Joker because of the way
mm.
the manipulation and the people that were nasty, and he was just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like I
So
never
I
knew
understand.
Joker had. I didn't know that he had a laughing disorder. I didn't know that till that movie came out on my mom. I didn't know that. That was crazy. Like you said that because you look at him differently now. Like wow, he had an issue. He had issues. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's so crazy about these comic people is I feel like it's a mirror to the people who become insane off of how they're brought up in America dealing with them.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. It is a reaction for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, we got more messages. We got Aquarius.
Hello, panel. How y'all doing? Hello, panel.
What's up?
Well, I think over the last 2 or 3 weeks, we have been having these conversations. And over the last 2 or 3 weeks, since we were having this conversation, they were talking about taking a lot of rights away from the women. All of this, we went through it. Now it's like, oh, it's a milk shortage. What y'all, it's no way
That's fortunate.
that this is being allowed to go on, because why would this
Right.
be allowed to go on? And then to find out they send almost $40 billion overseas today.
Yep.
What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure all of this out, because it throws me for a loop also. And I'm praying for all our young folks out here.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Mm.
prayers. We need it. We need something.
Listen.
But I've been seeing a lot of allowing going on too. Like I'm not gonna say the card, but I've been seeing a lot of allowing put right there on my face, where it's like even in even in the Buffalo situation, where it's like, bro, like here we go again, the 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 diligence, the artful tact that's used, even it's so much. Oh my god! And even that happening is like a domino effect. I feel like to like somebody being not understanding something or just supremacy, or whatever you want to say it is. I don't know, but even in that matter, that's being handled with so much diligence. Like it's not too messy. Like even in his camp when he's in the supermarket doing what he does. God bless the dead. First of all, God bless the dead and the lives that were lost in that situation. First of all, respectfully, but he says sorry, my bad. Before he shoots one dude, and he keeps on going. I'm like, yo, did I just watch like a Doom video game or something? Like he's
Yeah.
like it was like I've seen when you're saying you've allowing. I've been seeing a lot of like diligent shit happening, meticulous, strategic. It's like almost like set. It's set to happen, or if it's going to happen, the agenda. If it's part of the agenda, it's going to be allowed to happen. I've not seen a mass shooting yet on a scale like that on any other side, but only when it comes down to politics. When something political happens, it's like why people gotta die, why people gotta suffer. Like that's like mass genocide on a different level. This whole milk shortage is a genocide move to me.
Yes.
Just
Well,
it is.
that's the irony of it, right? Because when we had our talk the other day, there was someone that came in and kept on saying to me, are you supporting genocide? Because he basically wanted me to make a
Yeah. At
and
the
state,
end.
yeah, he wanted me to make a stance and clearly say I am anti-abortion, I am pro-life, and he wanted to make the stance, and I'm like, I can't make that stance because people are going to do what they're going to do anyway. It doesn't matter what I say, and that's the
Yeah.
illusion. Y'all think it matters what we say. It don't matter. If it mattered what we said, they would have done something about it already. If it mattered what we said, there wouldn't be a
Don't be a stranger to the Mount Stereo shop with Teespring, okay? All the merch from us for you is on the shop, okay? Just put in loud mouth, MOUF, stereo shop, And you know, the internet has this thing that's gonna do is gonna search, boop, 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 and it's gonna bring up our shop where you can support the podcast, support Greg, support Shan by promoting Loud Mouth Stereo podcast while being in something comfy or having a mug while showing support. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming through to listen every Saturday at 9:30 on Stereo app. We appreciate you. And don't forget to leave a review. Now back to the show.
Foster care issue. If matter we said, we wouldn't be talking about having to, resort to at the point where we have to use monopoly money, because at this point, that might be the barter. That might be the new barter system. How do we punch the numbers and say, you know what? No, them dollars that y'all put with all these dead presidents, that money don't mean anything to us anymore because it don't get us nothing. But you know what I can do? I think Vader had said this earlier. He was like, we just start building our own stuff. And then let me go get this this monopoly box and just give you some high fives and give you a couple hundred and 500 and call it a day, because that's how they playing with us already as it is right now. It
Speaking of
doesn't.
playing with us and money, Ruthie, what happened to Harry Tubman owning the money? What happened to that?
You're not gonna be on the money.
Was that a thing, or was making us feel good? What was that?
This is the thing. Can melanated people get their hope out of United States politics, please?
Yes, it's time. It's not working for us.
Once we do that,
It's not
we'll
working
stop
for
listening.
us.
We'll stop listening because it's a distraction to the
Yeah,
bigger
Yeah,
issue.
to the bigger
Until
issue.
until these mofos rewrite the Constitution
yeah,
that this motherfucking
Yeah,
funky shit is built off of, I don't believe shit in this politics. Because
yeah,
under that fucking Constitution, we are not even considered human.
yeah,
but they still do it in a bedrock way, like in a flint. Like we stupid. Like and I'm saying we as a people, not just a color. We as a people, they still give us the news. We're getting smarter every day, right? And they're still like doing things like that, like promising us a good time on a bedrock level. Like, hey, this is bedrock national. You know, like it's CNN, but it's BNN, and this is what's going on. Like, yo, you doing it so blatant, like
Because they can. They allowed that man to shoot up them people
yep.
and put it on the internet live and walk
live.
out
I
unscratched.
just posted a new thing on somebody in my timeline posted their phone screenshotting of there's gonna be another one somewhere, but they're showing a list, and me and my associates plan on from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to something. I just posted it on Facebook with you. You can go ahead and I don't know if you take what I posted with you and share it here, but it's there where somebody else has a screenshot of another shooting going to happen soon.
This is
I'm
the
not
minute.
surprised. I
I'm
mean,
not surprised, but at
yeah,
the same time, we have to understand that this quote unquote justice system wasn't made for anybody but them. Uh, this the correctional officers in that area were on Facebook, so everybody can see talking about jokingly clean up on L7. Oh yeah, N9, N12, and joking in the fucking chat for everybody to see. They don't care because they don't have to care.
yeah,
They're not
Wow.
they're not
I
dealt
just
with.
want I just want to hack somebody's. I want to be just big. I want to be like dude in Colorado who just like in the clan who was just chilling and shit and was in it. I want to be like I just want to get in. I want to just get the updates. That's all. I just want to get an update. I don't even want to be down. I just want to be chilling. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be chilling and be in the update. You don't got no I'm black. Just I want to be there. Like hey, that's
Right.
David.
Like, they have no shame to the point of, I don't know who that was speaking to the reporters, but he was like, it was like, don't you believe this is some form of terrorism? He was like, this is not terrorism. This is just somebody that chose to shoot. Terrorism is flying planes into buildings. Bitch, what?
oh no,
Nah, bro.
no,
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. That's not
But
a. That's not.
these are the leaders, these are the speakers that the United States have. And what's so embarrassing is I be thinking about what are the other countries thinking about us? They just like, ew, look at how stupid they
yes,
are. Like,
So do you guys
damn.
believe? Do you guys believe that what happened in Buffalo was a was a way to say, hey, we're going to take away guns from people now?
No,
No, because
they
the NRA is
always
always quiet when it's a white shooting.
Yeah, they always say that. Oh, it's another reason for the Democrats to come and take away our guns because they think they're gonna take away the abortions and all the, it's like, no, there are people out here who are, let's roll it back. Like, let's, if we were really to roll back and to try to understand who these people were before they became the people that shot up these places. Right, we're talking about us and talking about the fact that it's ridiculous to be able to live anywhere, and live good enough. And when I say good enough, we don't want to live rich. We ain't trying to be like the richest people. We're just trying to be able to live comfortably, like, right, we're trying to be able to make sure we can afford the gas when we need to go and travel. To what you were talking about, Chan, we're trying to make sure we can give our children something, some kind of
Yeah.
good, healthy childhood. Right, we're trying to just do some basic human, supposed to be some American shit, that we're supposed to be able to enjoy this type of lifestyle as being privileged Americans. We can't even do that. So when you think about just the level of what's happening in some of these people's lives who are also poor, they in the struggle too, they in there desperate, that they had what's his name, Tucker Carlson, whatever his name is, he's just clearly a racist on TV, and I don't know why he's still there, but he's on Fox, and they literally the Daily Show basically highlighted word for word for word of what he was saying that was in the manifesto of the guy that went out there and killed all those people in Buffalo. This is what this man is saying on TV every single night. So whether it's the
How
government
the word.
or it's some old um skeleton looking white man who just thinks he's gonna live forever and is just holding his trying to hold on to dear life, and think that he's gonna do everything he can to get another 100 years, even if that means he's gonna starve out the population and cause people to go insane and make people feel like there's some kind of scarcity going on, so they got to go and kill other people because other people gonna take from them too, while also forcing 60 something million people to have babies, and then also not doing anything about the formula, and then also like not raising the wages. Like, it really is an insane country to live in.
Yes. I gotta play these messages before they
Yes.
disappear. Hold on.
Well, we had this talk about 2 or 3 weeks ago also. Sure did.
Mm-mm-mm.
And we were talking about the age of consent. You know, federally, there's no age of consent.
Mm.
It's given up to the states.
Mm.
While we out here talking about and helping out, we right now have to come to terms with getting a lot of our stuff together. There is no age of consent over here. It's state to state. And it gets a little shifty, y'all. Go do your research. Start doing your laws. If you have children, you got grandkids, start looking at some of these laws in every state for these children. It is very disturbing
Mm.
because our generation fought for a lot of rights, man.
Mm. True.
I normally say when we talking about the monopoly money, Federal Reserve notes, I love to just say, read the UCC. That's what governs monopoly money. Think I'm lying? Read it and see.
Mm. Mm.
He
Write
said
that
read
down.
the what?
What'd you say?
What did he say? He said read the what?
He said to
UCC.
read the UCC, to read the UCC, the UC.
Mm.
Mm.
The
And
under
this
was
is
that mean under.
what, disturbs me. When they said that the guy did a live video, and I just seen still photos. I was like, I didn't want to look at it. You know how you just, I might not, if I see it, I know I'm going to have to probably watch. It's like the CSI, they're going to find you. Like, and determine whether, like, I mean, the cold case people, they're like, why? Because why would you do that? And it's a lot of investigation. That's what I want people to know too. Common sense plays so many roles that
Mm.
it doesn't. It's like you didn't know that common sense played a role. and you ain't even want to make sense of it. It's like, what's going on?
I always feel like it's because they don't see black people as human, and they don't want us to feel like, oh, a couple of people getting killed in the grocery store. Oh, you guys be fine. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing going on here. Just go to work. What?
And I'm
Well,
gonna tell y'all something, and that's why they looking at us. Now they gonna ask us for all the money and the resources. Any day and time, you think we can go over there and become citizens really easily? No.
Mm.
They done put your ass in jail if they find out you done did something wrong. Like, it's like, no. It's a whole... This is what people need to understand, too. From America, when you go different places, listen, that's a whole nother country. It's like, damn, what? You have to notice the citizenship. I'm just not gonna... I
It's a
can't
lot.
even explain it no more.
It's a
I'm
lot.
tired of explaining stuff.
It's a
Tired.
lot.
yo,
It's no way.
hey yo, but yo, sis, sis, need gonna need a day off from work or something, bro. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna hold you, son. Like,
it's
I felt her
a lot of people
pain,
be
bro.
like,
I was,
well, why don't you leave? Well, why don't you live here? It's not that simple.
yo, I felt her anguish, bro. Like I almost like lost my breath on that
And
one.
I said this on Twitter. I said the amount of hate and torture that melanated people have gone through in the United States, you would think will be the most violent group of people here, and
Well,
we're not.
before you drop that message in, you had me at they feel as though we're not human. That part I believe. Yeah,
Yeah,
in a good way. In a good way. You feel me? But that's where it ends at for me. I don't understand anything after that. I mean, like because there's always karma. There's always the earth moving. We're all connected, and the more killing you do, the more earth is going to show you what happens when I don't know how people that's and Aquarius Dawn mentioned something about common sense, like even on a spiritual frequency, if you don't think the world doesn't work on that time, like where it's like okay, killing going on, it's going to reciprocate it. I don't think that's why we even get angry. Here we go, because it's like we know we're such an empath. We as now I'm saying we as the black people, we as the black people are so empathetic, spiritual. Um, um, um. I know they might say we kill one another on a certain level, but the numbers are warped. Numbers don't lie, but numbers are warped on that as well because we're not making the guns, right? So, um, it's just we're not human. I got you, Shannon. Before you put that message on, you was like, "We're not human." You goddamn right, we're not human. You're damn right, we're not human. We're not.
Not to them, whoever them is, right?
I'm
Like,
not human. I know. If any as a black melanated person, I can't be human. I can't be part of this human race because I'm hunted like an animal. For one, my race is hunted like an animal. Our race is the most that's hunted like animals. Still currently to now. Like, okay, there was the whole thing over the Holocaust and all that, but this is consistent. This is still going on now. And so, if we're not murdered on a level of like genocide, we're murdered when we get to a certain. They try to murder us when we get to a certain point of our lives, when we get money or something fitting notoriety. But that's comes with vanity and all that. I don't know. I just know that we not human, Shan. We not human, Shan. We're
okay.
not.
So our version of not being human to each
We're
other
unicorns.
is more on a spiritual, connected to the earth
right,
level, right?
right.
Their version of us not being human is the fact that
Savage. Animal.
before I count how many slaves I have, let me count my horses and my sheep because they're more important.
Absolutely. More
Okay.
important.
And
Absolutely.
when it comes to this court system, we've seen that case by case by case. They will give you more time for killing an animal as a melanated person over a white babysitter shaking a baby to death. They'll give her 2 years probation.
Casey
I've
Anthony.
seen I've
He,
seen that on an NBA level where the LA Clippers owner was calling all the players like well, I guess when his daughter dated somebody outside of the race, he was like dated niggas type thing. I've seen on a sports level where it's like, yo, those guys who out there making you all this, helping you make extra money on top of what you have already, you do that not caring. You say that so loosely.
But you know why?
And
You know why? Because this is my irritation with sports in the United States that these players know and they don't care about because they feel like if I do this, then I can provide this type of life for my family and myself.
mm-hmm,
You subject yourself to a new plantation of living and of being treated by these white owners who will then allow a black person to be an owner of no team when majority of its best players are black people.
shut up,
But I'm
shut
going
up,
to
Kaepernick.
treat you like an object. I'm going to talk down to you and I'm going to be racist to you, but you work for me, you make me money. But you cannot come on this field and wear what you want. There's rules. And when I go ahead and I flag you for this, you have to pay $20,000 for this issue. And that $20,000 uh goes towards paying old players medical bills because they don't want to come out of pocket and take care of their old players that basically ruin their fucking bodies. It's a new
Donald Sterling.
plantation. And year after year, semester after semester, all of these young men and women get excited about, oh, this team is coming to the game to watch me play. I hope they sign me. I hope they sign me. I hope they sign me, because they do want to out. They do want a better living, but at the same time, you under the thumb of white racist people telling you to dance for them and entertain them, but you cannot be in a position to make more money than they make. You
I'm
cannot
trying to
be
be more
in a position
thorough.
to be better than they
Donald
are.
T. Sterling. Donald T. Sterling is his name, the owner of the Clippers. And then shout out to Kaepernick. Yep. Go ahead, Shan. I'm
but
sorry. Yep.
I think here's the biggest problem, right? Is that these people know this is why now it's all sort of coming together. Desperation
Wait a
is
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this Shan
Shan Shan?
Who's
from
Shan
way
Shan?
back? Shan?
I don't know what you're talking
This,
Who you
about. Be more
is
specific.
this our Shan from way back?
Which
Ruthie?
Shan?
From back in the day?
Who?
Shan from back in the day.
Who?
Florida Shan? Is this
Who?
Shan?
What's Shan?
Did you have a friend named Shan?
You mean Shanda? No.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. My bad. That was random. That was random. No,
I
my
would
bad.
have
My bad.
said, I would have came and said, this is Shan. No, this is
Oh,
Chan.
my bad. My bad.
This is
My bad.
Chandy
Okay.
Podden. Okay,
Oh, my bad. My bad. My
this
bad.
is
My bad. My bad.
yes, this is podcast queen right here. Okay.
My bad.
But no, let me
Okay.
I wanted, like, everything is pulling together in a way, right? Because when you really think about how these I, okay, so you talk about the dehumanization, right? Like people are property, and this is
Right.
like I almost feel like it's not even it is a black thing, obviously, because we already know what our history has been like. We know we keep trying to climb out of the barrel, try to find our way, try to be able to just live comfortably. But when you really think about it, I feel like the overarching theme is desperation, right? So you talk about these
Mm.
kids who really want to be able to no longer have to be starving. They want to be able to take care of their mom. They've seen their mom and dad struggle. They've seen their siblings struggle. All they want to do is be able to stop that struggle, stop that pain, stop that hurt. And what we don't hear a lot about in whether it's our generation or the generation above us, Generation X, is what we don't hear about enough is waiting, like being patient enough to be able to allow yourself to get to that point so that nobody has leverage over you. And they have so much leverage because they have all the money, and they're the ones who gets to divvy out the money the way that they want to. So you have that type of circumstance. It's easy, real easy for someone to be like, you know what, I know I'm probably going to be contributing to what I think Kendrick Lamar said is one of his songs. He was talking about how, the person that goes to work every single day and prays every single day, that person is part of killing us too. They basically they just do it slower at contributing
Yeah,
to how we die slow. And when he said it, I was like, damn, he talk about me. So
because
I'm out here.
I can tell you this. Um, the documentary 13 on Netflix, it
Yeah.
tells you closer to the end how these corporations and the companies you pay your light bill to, the companies you pay your water bill to, how they have private meetings and they meet with these prison owners and they put in a percentage of money for these private prisons to exist and just be
Mm,
able to do what they do, and
yeah,
they get money back from that and they grow from that, and us going to work and making them profitable and making them billions of dollars every year so they can pitch into those meetings is that.
yeah. Well, I don't know who's going to help solve the problem, but I look at it this way. If there's enough white people in this world, they have more population in this country, they have more of a population than we do, they hurt. They got to be hurting. If not worse, but they definitely got to be hurting because they got more people in their population that's expendable. And if anything, we talk about us having to, I'm at the point where I don't even feel like, and you know how I used to be chanting, I used to be like, we got to go vote and all this stuff. And I don't feel like, I'm not that I feel like we don't have to or we shouldn't, but I don't, the value of my vote, I feel like is valued less and less and less.
Yeah.
Like, unless it's local, which might have some more value to it. But even then, those people are looking to rise up to the top too.
And I was, it's funny you said that because I was driving around today and I saw all these picket signs for this person, that person, that person, vote here, vote here. And I'm thinking like, when did they say it was time to vote? When did they say it was time to pick this council person?
Mm,
And then I said to myself, do I even want to research it? Because I feel like
mm,
politically everybody puts on the front for what they're going to do,
yep,
and then once they get picked and put in that position, nothing gets done because they got to clean up the bullshit of the last person that was in that seat.
yep,
And that's if they have enough time to get the iceberg of what they wanted to do by the time it's a re-election. And if they don't get picked, don't shit get done. And my point when it comes to this voting shit is I don't feel like you have a legit say unless you have enough money to put in to have a say.
yep, yep.
Therefore, it keeps me comfortable in knowing me showing up to put my vote in doesn't matter.
It
I don't
doesn't.
have enough money in the fight to have a say.
No.
I can't be like, you know what? Because what I want is not getting done tomorrow. I'm not going to work this week enough for a whole bunch of people to give a fuck.
Yeah.
When you have the ability to be like, we're not coming in and we're not getting on here and we're not doing this work, and then you have the room shift and want to acknowledge what you want to negotiate, that's
Yeah.
when you have a say. We don't have a say.
No.
And this political circus of, I want to do this for black people, I want to do this for your
I,
community, I want to make sure you don't live in a food desert, is not going to work. When they make sure that people in the community don't live in a food desert is when they raise the rent enough to gentrify the space,
yeah.
and then the stores come, and
Yeah.
then the Starbucks comes, and then
Mhm.
the option for healthier food options comes.
Yeah.
They will never make sure melanated people can access food that's better for their health instead of the drugs that the pharmaceutical companies push their doctors to give them.
Yeah.
Never.
And it's like I almost feel like, you know what? So every time that black people get together and protest and do something for civil rights, everybody, it always ends up being a trickle, like a domino, a positive domino effect for other groups. Always, everything. The 14th Amendment, civil rights, the black people wanting to get our rights to vote, and then as they talk about white women hijacking the feminine or the women's suffrage movement and then getting their rights. It always happens where somebody else is a benefit. So you know what? Maybe we check out for a little bit. I,
But who is the beneficiary? Who is the beneficiary of all that though? Who really is the beneficiary of all that?
Who believes in what?
Who really is the beneficiary of all that though?
what the beneficiary of what checking out?
Yes.
They are
Uh,
always the beneficiary of black people checking out. It's to the point now, if you think about the the magnitude of the effect of that boy going to that black
You
owned
say
grocery
that
store,
boy.
right? Because he
The
ends up
play
having,
on it,
right?
but the play on it, because he probably was thinking like, look at that boy there, I'm gonna shoot. And you're saying that, but I love the power,
Listen, think
ah,
about that, and the people that's like, okay, so they're sourcing out black owned businesses. Let's not shop there. Let's shop where the whites were. So
mm,
for me, let's say tomorrow I'm off, I'm going to be more comfortable going into an area that's way more expensive, that's predominantly white owned, and shopping there comfortably, not thinking somebody's going to come in there and shoot up.
Yep.
mm.
It's
Yep.
always a profit thing. Even for me to sit here as a mother and think about, what if my babies were smaller and I was breastfeeding, but at the same time, I switched to formula when they were like 4 months because I couldn't keep up with the amount of food they needed. A lot of those formulas on the shelf have so many drugs in it that cause cancer in babies that
Anyways,
most of them
right.
aren't even healthy.
Right, you doing so,
And
when they said it, I'm like, aren't they doing us a favor though, a little bit, just a little bit, like
kind
when
of,
they're
but
bun-
this is the problem with people that are more in love with the convenience than the knowing. My mother is of Jamaican descent, right?
big up,
So
you already know.
when I was younger, it was nothing for her to mix up some cornmeal porridge real fine
Right,
and put it
right.
in a
Talk
bottle and
about
put it,
it.
okay? But what
Talk about
what
it.
16-year-old and what
I was
20-year-old
Talk about.
mother or what
I didn't.
American mother knows
Where are
they
the
want to
emojis
offer
on this? Where are
for
the
their baby?
emojis for hand
well, my
clapping?
kids
Where's the
is still
applauding and the amen at? Where's all that at? Where's the 100? Where's that
so
at?
damn proud of me.
Where's the
Like
button for amen? Where's
you
that
can't
at?
do
Because you
that
just
you can't do
nailed
that when
it.
you up here. You can only do it when you're in the audience. But my thing is like
Ooh.
we get so caught up in
Cornmeal
we get so
porridge.
caught up in the convenience of what a company gives you that you don't know how to fend for yourself. Let's
With
say
the
all the
blood,
grocery
with the blood
let's say
clot
all the
orange
grocery
peel.
stores shut down, right? Let's say all the grocery stores shut down tomorrow. Could you go out in the woods and find your kids and your family some food? Do you
No,
know how to cook it?
My bad, I was
I
loud.
would.
Sorry about that.
Of
I
course
got
not.
emotional. I got emotional. She
You
said porridge. That was crazy.
like we lack the ability to live with less
Yeah.
because we've been so spoiled by the convenience of being able to go in a store and swipe our phones and pay for our shit.
Yep.
I'm making cornmeal porridge tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I ain't gonna hold you. She's like, she just like hit my heart when she said that, like
And
with the orange peel with
if you
it.
don't know nothing about cornmeal porridge, you could do the same thing with oatmeal.
Yep.
But a lot of these moms don't know that. And they
Ruthie, no.
don't have mothers around that can tell them. They don't have grandparents around that can tell
Nope.
them. And that's
Nope.
the problem with our generation thinks, oh
I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie.
my
Corn
grandmother,
milk to me was like breast milk to me. It was corn milk. I
but
don't remember breast milk. I'm just saying.
generation, this generation and the people who have grandparents and the people who have moms around and dads around, y'all don't know the wisdom and the keys and the gems that you're losing by not having discussions with those people.
Yep.
Because those people will save you. Those people will tell you, if you don't have this, this is how you make sure you get clean water. If you don't
Right.
have this, this is how you make a fire. If you need to make a weapon, this is how you do it. They don't know
Supplement.
because they don't
Yes.
act.
Yes.
You
Supplement.
need balance in order to survive. And that's what this government wants. This government wants its people so dependent on them to the point
Depending on
where
it. Yes.
to the point
Yes.
where they're probably going to put people in a position to continue to make children.
Mm-hmm.
By the time they have these children, oh, you can't afford to feed your kid, give them to us.
Mm.
Oh, you can't afford to clothe your kids, give them to us.
We'll put them to work. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a question. So Ruthie, you being a mother on the way, and this happening right now, where's your mind right now? Where's your mind? Where's that right now, sis?
About like just the fact that you know, that there's
When the news hit you, when the news came out as of like recent about the shortage of where was your mind at? Because I never asked you that on like on the phone calls, like just talking to you. But and I'm sorry about that too. You know I love you, but where was your mind as a mother when you got that news?
I mean, it's just like for me, anytime I hear, like when I see kids on the street out in in the neighborhood, I always have a watchful eye. I'm looking at who's holding this child, what kind of behavior is going on. I'm always very close, keen. I'm kind of paying attention to details. Do y'all look related? Do you look like you're in distress? Like I'm that nosy of a neighbor to be watching all the kids in my neighborhood. And me and Kevin always had a pact. We was like, listen, if we ever in a place and a kid look like they're in distress, they don't belong to somebody, I'm gonna snatch a kid. You handle the dude that's holding them. And so for me,
Yo,
when I hear babies crying or young children crying, like that's why I'm so strong about the fact that I can't say one way or the other that we need to do anything about abortions. If we had 60 something million children born from what they said that should have been born, we can only we God only knows how how our economy would be exacerbated. And I'm not saying these kids are burdens, because I don't mean that. Or it could be the other way. Maybe there is something that comes out of it, and the economy gets better. They actually pay people what the cost of living and all that stuff. We will never know. But I don't believe that either, because the people that's already here, they ain't doing nothing for it anyway.
Right.
So, when you think about the fact that there's moms right now, there's dads, some people are driving miles and miles to go to stores to go get formula. Some people are ordering breast milk from online. And all I could think of is like, yo, if we're not being serious about the fact how close we are to actually having a real doomsday. I'm not talking about apocalypse. I'm talking about the shit raggedy is falling apart. We're going to have to survive it falling apart. What are we really going to do? Because right now, people are operating out of desperation when we have a little bit of something. There's at least a little bit of water, a little bit of clean water you can get. There's at least, you can go and heat your food up. You can do the things to survive, like what Chance talked about. There's a microwave life that we're living where you can just, everything's made for you already. But what happens when that really slows down? And
Right.
so for me, I just feel like the only thing I can do is do my best to focus on my family, teach my kids how to cook something the kids know how to cook something from scratch. They know how to put some food together. If they got to eat, they know how to survive. If they
as you
need
should.
something to drink, they know that water is the best thing you can go with. You don't need juice. You will do the best that you can with water. Now, this is like survivalist type of thinking. It's sad that I have to even put that in their minds and say, you don't have luxury right now. What you have is what you need right now. And
Okay,
I
but
don't
how is that sad? How is that sad, Ruthie? When we were raised differently,
know it.
we were raised that same way. How you telling them? We were raised somewhat consciously that way. How is that
No,
scary?
but it's sad because there are other children, and particularly white children, who don't have that, not all, but a good amount who don't, that's not their reality, right?
Okay.
But it has to be my reality for my kids, because I'm trying to figure out a way, like, how do you, and this is for a lot of black people, right? When we went through the recession, remember everybody was talking about back in 2008, 2009, 2010. Oh, it's no surprise to us black people. We've been on the margins of surviving for a long time. We know how to put some shit together when we need to survive. We've been doing it for such a long time. So, but why do we have to continue to keep living like we're surviving?
Right. You know what's
Like,
so crazy about
yeah,
what you said?
go ahead. What you
There's
say?
an article that talks about 70% of Americans cannot put together at least $1,000 for $1,000 emergency.
Yeah,
And that's not even talking about what your income is, or if it's a two parent household, or if you're a roommate situation. There should be no reason why you work every day, or at least 80% of your week, and you can't even afford $1,000 emergency. A
yeah,
lot of people, when it comes to insurance, have high deductibles because that gives them lower insurance, not because they can afford to pay $1,000 if somebody hits my car,
yeah,
right? And until we become honest with the fact that most of us cannot afford how we're living, it's going to keep going because everybody is living on survival.
Mm-hmm.
When a
And
cre- but when a creature, I don't mean to cut you off, Shan. When a creature does live by a certain way of life, its whole life, doesn't really sees how every other creature lives, can't live that way as so as the other creature. What's better than what the creature
the
is doing
problem,
already?
that's the problem. A lot of us, I love looking at animals. Okay? I love looking at wildlife. But in reality, you have to get down to the concept. You are human, that is an animal. A zebra is only going to eat what zebras have always ate.
But we can
Humans
learn
can eat
from we can learn we can
anything.
learn from them though. We can learn from them though.
We can learn from them, but we weren't created to have the abilities that they have. We weren't
Absolutely not.
we weren't created. God purposely gave us fingers and thumbs and not gave a zebra or a giraffe. There are things that we can do that animals cannot. There are things that animals can do that we cannot for a reason. So at a certain point, we have to stop thinking, oh, the animal can do this, creatures can do this, so we can adapt. At a certain point, we have to take our pride and our ego out of
It's,
this shit and make it make sense.
there's adapting, then there's accepting now, right? So there's accepting, right? There's accepting that we can't do what other creatures can do. Let's say what other races can do. How about that? We can't even do what other races can do sometimes, and that, we're talking on a human level now, right? Some of us can't. So when Ruthie mentioned, okay, or you Ruthie made a point of why are we accepting the or that minimum lifestyle or that bare or that scarcity thing of level of, but but it's worked, right? It's worked to the point where some of us can't break free from it, or like what's the example of somebody breaking free of that type of mentality? What's the example of that? What is that?
I feel like you're asking a question that's back. The first
I'm,
question is the first question is why is there a differentiation based upon your race in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the first
we're,
problem. The second
okay.
problem is just because we have adapted and accepted doesn't make it right. Right? And then the third question is why did we adapt and accept? Because we don't have enough at stake to put up a fight. We don't have enough backing to put up a fight and win. And they know this.
I'm going back to the cornmeal situation, right? If we know that cornmeal, certain ways that we were raised doing certain things, helped us to become who we are now. That's what I'm saying. Like, do we can share that knowledge? We can share that and make sure, but it's not put out there enough. Like I'm saying, I'm trying to correlate the statement that was made when you were saying we have to break out of that scarcity level of thinking where we it's like a doomsday thing, or I think, am I saying it right, where it was like we thinking like it's we buy out of, we consume, we invest. Am I saying it wrong? Correct me.
No, you're saying it right. And the thing is, yes, we can show each other. But the issue is people only learn what they want to learn.
Okay,
People
here we go. Here we go.
take heed to. And over time and over a period, when it comes to this socialized shit, I can make 5 TikToks, 5 posts tonight on how you can have another alternative if you cannot feed your baby. And it's probably only going to get 10 likes
Because you're
or
on TikTok doing it. Because you're on
or
TikTok doing it though. You're on TikTok
no,
doing it though.
I'm just saying in general,
Oh, okay. All right. All right. All
when
right.
anything good is put out to help or
Okay.
assist, people don't give a fuck. But if it's drama, if it's violence, if it's someone falling on their face, if it's someone hurting themselves, you up in like 51K.
Mm-hmm.
See, but just to explain that to me from a social media standpoint, if you're saying if these worldwide media outlets can allow people like Shan, people like Ruthie, to or more woke people to, they don't have that platform. I don't feel as though they have that platform on a major scale, a social talk like this, because it's for whatever it's Fox or it's CNN or it's MSNBC, whatever. I feel like you're still saying it from a social media point where it's basically what you said: humor, folly, insult to injury, clout chasing. And I'm saying if we can can we go after the media outlets? Because that's where it comes to, where it comes down to, not the
But that's what
51K.
a
It
lot of
comes,
people know, because I mean, if you look at it right now, a lot of this is the great battle for balance, right? All of us being able to have these platforms to be able to express our voice and to be able to have to listen to each other and support each other in this way. Because if you think about it, yes, the media has all the money for them to have their narrate what that the way they want to narrate and all this other stuff. But what they don't have is the trust of the people anymore. That's gone. People don't even believe anything that comes from the news anymore. People believe other people more than they believe the news anymore. And it could be anything. You could be like, hey y'all, I I discovered that we have worms in our body the size of an anaconda. People be like, for real? And everybody be like, I got worms in my body too, but that's why my pain in my back been coming from. So like the news don't have any. They don't have a grasp on that anymore. So you have people on YouTube, you have people on Spotify, you have podcasters like Shan, you have people on all these different Apple podcasts. All these different podcasting is really sort of the way that we're getting the balance that we need. It just takes, I think, for more people to be okay with slowing down the pace of the economy, to be able to do things differently, to be more abstract, to be more unorthodox in how we actually move money flow. Right? There could be in Kenya, they created an app where they actually exchange like Bitcoin, but it was before Bitcoin. So they was basically exchanging, paying for stuff, buying houses, buying cars, all from like money, electronic, digital money. But here's the thing: the banks came in and tried to crack down, because they was realizing that people weren't going to the banks anymore. People wasn't
Right.
going to they wasn't exchanging money anymore, cash dollars anymore. So they lost that leverage, and then so they killed it. They killed the opportunity for. So this is what we're up against. We already the news media is challenged right now. We have more people having voices. What we don't have is a proper movement of money aside from Bitcoin, but even people who are supposed to have left it alone, that care about money, that will come here and try to kill it, they're getting it on Bitcoin too. So it's like anytime that we try to build something for ourselves, the people who have all the money, the greedy people, the ones that want to take advantage of desperation, they're like, well, look what they're doing. We need to go and take that over. TikTok, that like what's going on with Facebook. I mean, with Twitter and buying Twitter. That was stuff was supposed to be for the people. Now it's however if you have the most money, if you're a billionaire, you can go buy whatever the masses of people are trying to do in order for us to have the true independence that we need from this government. We're sort of, it's in a sort of catch-22. It's
If your price oversteps the purpose, then you'll always lose.
yeah, yep,
Yeah. At first, when Jay-Z came up with Title, it was for us.
yep,
Then he got to a point where he was like, "Oh, these white men offer me enough money, I'm gonna sell it."
that's
yep.
where you said, what was your last statement that you said? It was, I like that. You said when the price over
If your
the price.
price overrides your purpose, you're gonna lose.
But when they've been talking money their whole lives, then their purpose was never nothing. Because they've been talking money their whole life. They was never talking about their purpose. They was
Because
Jay Z to me
there
was
was
never
always
talking.
a reason to live out of survival.
Hmm.
They were
Sometimes,
talking money to live out of survival.
sometimes, even when you put someone who was brought up in a time of living out of survival, there's no amount of money or ability or opportunity that makes them feel like it's enough.
Mm.
And so
Well,
that's why you have the
that's the
rich
power of
people.
influence. That's the power of influence, though. That's the power of
It's the
influence.
power of influence, but it's also your mindset and other people around you. Because every time you make more money, you get to step into another room,
And
and the
and
room
you
that
become more influential. And you become more influential
by default, right?
by default. Yes.
Because more money you make, especially as a melanated person, people have more eyes on you, and they want to talk about what's in your wallet, and they want to Google you and see your worth. And every time a melanated person gets to another level of income in life, people feel like they should have more access to them and more say on why they make the decisions that they make. But some people, when they're melanated, they always feel like every room that they step into with people that are more wealthier than they are is not enough. I haven't done
Isn't
enough. This I
isn't
need to
this
do this.
the same melanated person we spoke about earlier who buys and spends out of scarcity? Who does that scarcity move? Like, you know what I mean? They got to do it now, or it's too late, or you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's the same person,
it's a mindset.
Yeah.
It's a mindset. But
even on a grand level. Yeah.
the reality is white people are never comfortable with the amount of money they make. They're always making sure they're in a position of more. And it's normal for them because they have always been in the comfort of being in the position of more. It is not comfortable for us because we always feel like somebody's on our ass or gonna bump us out of the position.
Word.
And so sometimes when it's us, we don't reach back to lift somebody up to be in the room that we are because it'll give us like a sense of peace for a little bit for us to be the only ones in the room. And unfortunately, that's something that has hurt us in the long run because until we are the sole source of us being able, we will always get to a point where we're going to need to reach a hand to someone that didn't want to help us in the first place to get to the next step. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Mm.
And keep in mind that we are living in a system that was designed for certain people already, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of black people are in a position where it's like we want so badly to be able to like have our own, establish our own, but we're caught up in this trap of to do that you have to be a part of, you have to assimilate into the system. So it's like no, and then you have other black people who will continue to try to assimilate to the system no matter how much you'll be like, listen, remember what's that group, Take Me to Another
Arrested Development.
okay. Remember Ice-T? Oh, I don't know if y'all remember them. Ice-T was like, I can't stand, fuck them motherfuckers. Like he was mad as hell about them. Like they out here doing that. He was like, they out here doing all that hippie shit and all this stuff. And I'm like, bro, anybody in their right mind would take that community over the one with pimps and hoes that you were rapping about. It
I
sounds
don't know. But who was the old black guy in that group that was always in like chains or like the old black guy they had like an leash or something like that? I never understood that one black
I
guy in
think
Arrested Development.
I think that it's important for us as millennials to go back and watch some of the stuff that we watched when we were kids because we didn't like conceptualize what that meant for them as being adults. But if we go back, it'll probably make a whole lot of sense, right?
I
Black
get
men,
it now. I get it.
huh?
Black Man in Chains. The
Yeah,
Black Man
black
in Chains.
always a
Okay,
black
there it
man in
is.
chains.
I
I
got
mean,
it. There it is.
and that's the thing that Ice-T I think was railing against. Like, stop with that slave shit. And it's like, but it's real. You a slave to it. You out here
I'm
talking about
38.
hoes and fuck the police and all that stuff, which is or whatever he
But
said.
then he goes on. But then he goes on a show for 20, 10 years, and he becomes a cop. For like, I don't even.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's
Exactly.
Mm.
crazy.
Exactly. And he talked about that too. He was asked about that, like, what do you have to say? He was on, I think, Breakfast Club, and he was like talking about how, you know what, something about him. It's crazy that he ended up being in that position, but basically, he's doing what every other American is doing, right? Black people shouldn't have to be starving and suffering just to be able to survive, just to be able to make it in this country. You get in when you fit in, and that's what his that.
Or he did so much slandering of it that he has to protect himself again, and out of scarcity or whatever, I'm gonna just gonna can't beat them, join them, But on a scale of like, if I know how they are, how they work on a certain scale, I'm gonna, doesn't that protect them though in a way too? Some way it kind of protects them though, doesn't it?
What from who?
Okay, it doesn't. Okay, you got that. You got that, Ruthie. All right.
Oh, I mean,
Okay.
it can, because if he's assimilating into the system that keeps perpetuating this insane cycle to the point where we are right now. I'm not putting it all on Ice-T. Let me just put that out there. It ain't all Ice-T's fault, but I'm making the equivalency of when you have a black community that's trying to break itself out of what we've been forced to assimilate into, and then you have some other black people that's like, listen, I'm not about to be starving out here. I'm not about to be waiting for my money to come here. I'm not about to be in a situation singing "Take Me to Another Place" and as a black, I ain't about to do all. They're like, I'm not about to do it. I ain't no slave no more. I'm gonna make the money like these white people make money. And it's like, yeah, but the way that they've done it, they've been stealing. So we're going to keep stealing. We're going to keep, damaging our water and our air, eating
Okay,
terrible food.
hold on, because we're going to dip into some other shit.
Okay, okay.
Let
You
me
say the
close
last
out.
are
Let
you
me
doing?
close out this show because we have to use the recording. Um, I'm going to end loudmouth now, and we can continue talking. You just have to make a new show. But yeah, yeah. This one is already like 3 hours,
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah, yeah, I
I'm
forgot you got.
gonna I'm gonna end it. Eruth, while I'm ending this, start a different one,
Okay,
and then I'll come back in it.
okay.
All right.
I'm trying to think about a topic. I'm a Kevin.